name is Walden McLeod. I'm part of the 6th grade class at the UUCC. I would like to start by thanking all of the people that came to see us today. Whether it's your first or your 1000th service that you have attended, we would like to thank you. We are in middle school. We usually don't have the opportunity to control an entire hour of someone's life. We don't even get a full podium. But should you give us that ability, that power, that opportunity? That's an easier question to answer than our main one. Our main topic is what we want you to really think about. Are we too young to know? To know who we really are? What we really are? We could be anything now, because this is the generation of change. And as an example, we can be gay, straight, bi, trans, and so much more. Our sexuality is so flexible, we can be anything out of nothing. Our sexuality can define something about us. It can help us define us. It is the best way to describe how we can feel about people and opinions and objects. Our entire lives can revolve around our sexuality. If we really felt like it, we might not even want to be a human. We can come out as anything, at any time. You parents need to be ready. You don't know what you're in for. But most would think, oh, it's just a phase, or they just want popularity. But this is probably the worst reaction to have. We might be serious. We might have that change in our own way. Not everyone wants to stay in the box that society shapes for them. That's what this entire service is about. We can also describe our political views. Our views should matter because we know how to distinguish right from wrong. Trust us, we love ourselves, and we just want to feel how we feel. We just need some support to find our true selves. We just want you all to know that no matter how long our thoughts and feelings last, support us. We all want to be happy, just in our own way. We can all have changed thoughts, emotions, opinions, views, anything. We can all understand each other in any way. So please, hear us out, and thank you. We're honored to have guests with us. Our members would like to greet you following the service. So that we might do so, if you're visiting, please raise your hand and keep it up. Members, please take note of guests seated near you. After the service, invite them to join you for coffee and conversation in Freeman Hall. Should it enhance your experience of future services, you can find both a large print order of service and a personal hearing assistance device on the table at the entrance of the sanctuary. If you'd like to learn more about us, please fill out a yellow card and place your completed card in an offering basket when they are passed later in the service. Members with a life event to share can do so on the reverse side of the card. You'll find them along with offering envelopes on the clipboards at the end of the row. Please begin passing these down your row. Some returning visitors may be interested in hearing about how to become a member. If so, talk to our membership coordinator, Kelly Green. Her contact information is on the back of your order of service. Again, to each of you, welcome.
We light this chalice for all who are here and all who are not, for all who have ever walked through our doors, for those who may yet find this spiritual home, and for those we can't even yet imagine. For each of us and for us all, may this flame burn warm and bright.
Hello, my name is Will McCaffrey from the 8th grade RE program at the UUCC. I will be reading the poem, Myself, by Edgar Albert Guest. I have to live with myself, and so I want to be fit for myself to know. I want to be able, as days go by, always look myself straight in the eye. I don't want to stand with the setting sun and hate myself for things I've done. I don't want to keep on a closet shelf a lot of secrets about myself and fool myself as I come and go into thinking no one else will ever know the kind of person I really am. I don't want to dress myself up in sham. I want to go out with my head erect. I want to deserve all men's respect. But here in the struggle for fame and wealth, I want to be able to like myself. I don't want to look at myself and know that I am bluster and bluff and empty show. I never can hide myself from me. I see what others may never see. I know what others may never know. I never can fool myself, and so, whatever happens, I want to be self-respecting and conscience-free. Thank you.
Look at me, I will never Good morning. I'm Rachel Flynn from the 7th grade RE program, and I'm reading a quote from C. Joybell C., author of The Sun is Snowing. It's definitely difficult being a woman and growing up a girl. When you're graceful, people say you lack personality. When you're serene, people say you're boring. When you're confident, people say you're arrogant. When you're feminine, people say you're too girly. And when you climb trees, people say you're too much of a tomboy. As a woman, you really need to develop a very strong sense of self. And the earlier you can do that, the better. You have to be all the things that you are without allowing other people's ignorance change you. I realized that they don't know what grace is. They can't identify serenity. They have inferiority complexes. They're incapable of being feminine, and they don't know how to climb trees. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Eliza McClelland. The Oxford English Dictionary defines privilege as a special right or advantage granted only to a particular person or group. This means that just based on where and to whom you are born, you can have a very good life or a very bad life. Some people are very lucky and have more than everyone else. This is privilege, to have a good life, to attend a quality school, to not have to work too hard for things to start going your way, to assume that you are safe all the time. You are just born into a good life. Some people don't recognize that they have privilege, but in order to truly know yourself, you need to recognize when you have privilege. I have grown up in a very sheltered world and did not come face to face with how privileged I truly am until a few weeks ago. My school, Providence Day, does not let us do athletics until we are in 7th grade, and I am a 6th grader who likes to run. So I decided to join Girls on the Run. The closest school to do that was Sedgefield Middle School. I was terrified when I came to the first practice,
I guess that since I do not live in Sedgefield, and since I go to Providence Day, I wouldn't know anyone. When we got to the school, I stared at the campus around me. A short, one-story brick building with a tiny track that was not in very good shape. Two small signs identified the cafeteria and the gymnasium, both of these being gray. Up on a telephone wire, there was a pair of gray Converse sneakers, forgotten up high by someone. We met in the 7th grade English classroom, and when I went inside, I realized that I was the only white person there. I thought other white kids might show up, but they didn't. I felt really weird. The only white girl, the one who goes to a private school, the one with fancy new running shoes, the one with an expensive fluffy jacket. I felt like I did not belong in my own skin, a stranger to doing something where I was supposed to be having fun. I never knew what it felt like to be the minority, how scary and uncomfortable it feels. Before this, I just assumed that everybody felt at peace with their skin color, that they did not feel awkward about it. I was wrong. My whole life, I have been sheltered from this, our very segregated society. I have learned about the civil rights movement and the Civil War, but I thought that it was better. I was wrong. We still have privilege in this world, good lives for some and bad for others. We can change, though. After our first awkward practice, we became a team. Nobody cared what each other's skin colors looked like. We just cared about running together and having fun. One practice, we were talking about milk, wondering if private schools had the same type of milk as public schools. And in case you were wondering, we all have the same type of milk. I wish that white privilege did not exist, that we were all equals, but we aren't. The first practice, it was uncomfortable, but I kept coming back and making an effort to have friends. If we all did this, the segregation in our world could get better. It's a tough subject, and adults probably think that we are too young to know about it, that they should tell us everything is all sunshine and roses. But it's not. The sooner we see it, the sooner we can try to stop it. Though people say that children are too young to know, we are not. We are not too young to know.
Step forward if you're old enough to organize your own schedule. Step back. Step forward if you're old enough to cook your own meals. Step back.
Eliza, go practice your ukulele. You need to improve.
But Mom, I don't want to play the ukulele.
I know what's best for you. Now do as you're told. What are you doing? I told you to go practice your ukulele.
But I don't want to play the ukulele. I want to play basketball.
I know what's best for you. You're gonna change your mind in a week.
But I won't. I know what makes me happy and what I like. That's basketball.
Well, if that's what makes you happy, we'll sign you up for a team at school.
Sounds great. Thanks for listening.
Step forward if you're old enough to choose your own hobbies. Step back. Step forward if you're old enough to stay home alone. Step back. Step forward if you're old enough to travel by yourself. Step back.
Hey, Dad, can I go to William's house for a sleepover?
Sure. What will you be there? What will you be doing there?
Just watching a movie and playing Call of Duty.
You can watch a movie, but I'm pretty sure Call of Duty is much too violent for you.
I'm old enough to know the difference between that game and reality. Why can't I play it?
Because, because games like that could mess with your head and make you a more violent person. I don't want that.
Many studies have proven otherwise.
Okay, well, if you can show me these studies and you really want to do this, then I guess I can let you go.
Thanks, Dad.
Step forward if you're old enough to play violent video games. Step back. Step forward if you're old enough to understand others' emotions. Step back. Step forward if you're old enough to vote. Move your tushes back, like 2 steps. 2 steps. Thank you very much.
Hey, Mom, can I go to the March for Our Lives?
No. How do you even know about the politics of that march?
I watch the news and I understand the big problems.
You're too young to have an opinion about those things.
Well, how do you get your ideas about the march?
I watch and read the news.
So how is that any different from me?
All right. Good point. You're right.
Okay, how about we go to the march together? Sounds good.
Step forward if you're old enough to have your own political views and opinions. Step back. Step forward if you're old enough to understand what love is. Step back. Step forward if you're old enough to go on a date. Step back.
I think I like that boy. Oh no, I have to tell my parents. I have something to tell you.
Well, what is it?
I'm straight.
You're joking, right? You can't be serious. How can you be such a malfunction? No, just get out. Get out.
No, I'm straight. I like guys. That's me.
It's just a phase. You'll come back in a week.
No, I won't. It's not a phase. It's who I am. I'm straight. If you can't accept that, that's okay, but I'm not changing. I have people who love and support me and will lift me up. I wish you could be one of those people, but if you can't, that's okay. You're gonna either learn how to deal with it or you're not. But I'm going to love you because that's the right thing to do.
Step forward if you're old enough to know your own sexual orientation. Step back. Step forward if you're old enough to accept others for who they are. Go back to your seats.
Something has changed within me. Something is not the same. I'm through with playing by the rules of someone else's game. Too late for second guessing. Too late to go back to sleep. It's time to trust my instincts. Close my eyes and leave. It's time to try defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity. Kiss me goodbye. I'm defying gravity, and you won't bring me down. I'm through accepting limits, 'cause someone says they're so. Some things I cannot change, but till I try, I'll never know. Too long I've been afraid of losing love, I guess I've lost. Well, if that's love, it comes at much too high a cost. I'd sooner buy defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity. Kiss me goodbye. I'm defying gravity, and you won't bring me down. I'd sooner buy defying gravity. Kiss me goodbye. I'm defying gravity. I think I'll try defying gravity, and you won't bring me down. Bring me down. Ooh.
Are we too young to know? Too young to know who we really are? There is a simple answer for this simple question. Of course we are. I personally don't believe that God or destiny or Mother Earth or whoever else you believe in cares how old we are.
but people do. The question should not be, are we too young to know who we are? Rather, it should be, are we too young to know we defy people's expectations? When I tell people that I'm non-binary, no matter how open-minded they are, a look of shock hits them. Even if it's only for a second, it happens. This look is because it was unexpected, not because it was unwelcome, in most cases, of course. It's because I am defying the box that I was put into since the moment I was born, not because I am telling them that I am early on creating my box. Some people respond by saying, "Oh, that's great," but I can tell that they are certain that it is a phase, that one day I will walk down the aisle in a white dress, ready to be wed like a woman. But that is not me right now. Maybe it is a phase, but that does not mean people should respect it any less. You would not call a caterpillar a butterfly just because it is in a phase and it does not quite know what it will end up as. Some people, I may be too young to know who I am, but that didn't seem to stop you when before I was born, I was put into a box. "It's a girl," they said, because God forbid she was anything else. In our legal system, we make a point of not assuming someone is guilty. I wish innocent until proven guilty was practiced as much with gender orientation. And that's another thing I would like to bring up. Why do gay and trans people have to come out and straight people don't? We assume the normal. I always laugh when people come up to me and say, "I'm straight, but I support LGBTQ+ rights," because the fact that they are straight matters. So, as I leave, I would like to ask you to try not to assume anything.
Thank you, Emerson. I am not a middle school student. Good morning. My name is John Herrick, and I and Kelly Green are your staff liaisons to the stewardship team. If this is your stewardship month, we will gladly receive your pledges in Freeman Fellowship Hall following the service. To our amazing youth. Someday the UUCC will belong to you, not just this congregation of like-minded people with whom you can learn and deepen your spiritual horizons, but this actual place, these walls, these doors, these windows, this screen, this, well, not pulpit, but anyway, plus all the programming and staff and everything that goes into making this a relevant and vibrant community of progressive faith. What started as an idea in 1947 has blossomed into a beacon of progressive thought in a very complex world. We are the beneficiaries of those who preceded us and who are willing to go out on a social and financial limb to make all that we now have possible. So yes, all of this will belong to you, our youth, including the responsibility to take care of it for your children and your children's children. In the meantime, though, this place is the responsibility of the adults here in this room. So, adults, we need you to keep this place alive and well, especially in these times. The average pledge needed to keep us financially sound is $1,900 per year. If you give less than this amount, and even if you give more, we ask you to think hard about what this congregation means to you and those you care about, and we hope that you will make a generous pledge. I give over 5% of my gross annual income because I love what we do here. I believe in the power of generosity. And I believe that by supporting the work of this congregation, a portion of my life energy translated into earnings is expended for a very good cause, that of creating life-changing programming for children, youth, and adults, a place for progressive thought and action, and a haven where all are welcome and respected. This place, this congregation belongs to all of us. Can we count on you being a good and generous steward? Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you, John. John, by the way, folks, as usual, does an amazing job. He worked with this incredibly talented group of youth on the music and made it into something astonishing. So, thank you, John. My name is David Flynn. I have the privilege of being one of the facilitators for this amazing group of youth, along with Janan, Sean, Kristen, and Kate. We worked with them on this service, but I will tell you, we gave a few pointers here or there, some of which may have been ignored. These are their voices that you're hearing. So it really is a privilege and a joy. I would like to refer you to the announcements in the back of your order of service. If you would like to join, and I have a few off-script announcements too. So if you would like to join a casual lunch group, please meet in the vestibule downstairs after the service. We are honored to welcome UUA President Susan Frederick Gray to the UUCC on Sunday, March 25th at both the 9:15 and 11:15 services. Reverend Frederick Gray will address us on the topic of no time for a casual faith. Please join us for a special child-friendly Passover celebration on Saturday, March 31st at 5 p.m. in Freeman Hall. And more event information is in your order of service and on our Currents webpage, which is accessible through the UUCC website. Ours is a congregation of community, and like any community, we have both joys to celebrate and concerns to share with each other. Today, we hold in our hearts and prayers the Edwards family as they mourn the sudden passing of Michael Edwards, the Bailey family, as Gilbert's mother is now in hospice care, the family of Joan Kelly as they mourn the passing of Joan's son-in-law. Everyone is invited to light candles during the offering to mark a celebration, a concern, or a remembrance. Thank you.
Can everybody please join me for a meditation exercise? When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, 'Cause When I breathe in, I'll breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love.
I'm Tallulah Shipo, and I'll be reading a quote from Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix by J.K. Rowling. Youth cannot know how age thinks and feels, but old men are guilty if they forget what it is to be young. The world isn't split into good people and Death Eaters. We've all got both light and dark inside us. What matters is the part we choose to act on. That's who we really are. The ushers will now take the offering.
So, I know you just listened to all of this, but what does it really mean? Asking all of these questions, am I old enough or am I too young? We all just need to decide for ourselves. And yes, there are definitely some things that other people know more about or have more experience with, and we should all listen to their advice. In other words, we are all old enough to decide if we are old enough to decide. With a second opinion, of course. You may be seated.
I am not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. Learn to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are.
But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious.
When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown 'em out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be, this is me.